Creatures of the night, it's your girl Tati. Let's talk about Collision. I had a really great time at the show. It always feels good to be at wrestling shows. Like, I know I'm going to fall under this depression when I have to go back home and just be like, holy shit, I need more shows. Do you guys have any more shows that I can attend? I had a really, really great time. The highlight of the whole night for me wasn't even the show itself. Literally being one of the first people to hold the Unified Championship title was just so freaking amazing. So, Okada, Kenny, they haven't yet won this title. And at first, when I first saw it, and you guys can go back to that live stream, like, I thought it was ugly. I was just like, it looked like something I would wear, like a woman would wear. It looked very feminine because it kind of reminds me of the old women's title that they used to have. And it does kind of look like that still, so it reminds me of that. But in person, it's just so beautiful. Really heavy, by the way. But I was so fortunate to be able to just hold that, and I thought it was so cool, and just a really, really great experience. So I can't wait to see what ends up happening with that. Now, we did have a pretty interesting go home show, Collision go home show. I'm gonna say this first before I even mention anything else. Where the hell was Okada and Kenneth? The whole time I was just sitting there, I was just like, I'm just going to wait to the end of the show because Okada and Kenny coming out, they're going to do something before the pay-per-view, and I was absolutely disappointed. Not just because I was there in person and I just want to breathe the same air as Kenny Omega, but I just felt like that's a very important match, one of the most important matches on the card, and those two people just didn't show up on Collision, didn't show up on Dynamite. I think is kind of crazy. We just start off with a trios action. We had Paragon going against Roppongi Vice and Kyle Fletcher. Uncle Don came on out there, and I couldn't believe how everyone was disrespecting Uncle Don, a legend, a prominent figure in this sport, and I cannot believe how disrespectful everyone was in that crowd. It could never be me. It could never be me. I'm actually enjoying these multi-men matches. I've been seeing people complaining about there being too many multi-men matches, and honestly, I don't see what the problem is. These matches are still telling the stories of different things that are going on, so you still get a chance to see what's going on with Kyle Fletcher and Adam for the TNT title, and you also got that whole thing with Roppongi Vice and Paragon that's going on that has something to do with the pizza people. I don't even know what the fuck that's about, and it's still telling you about other things. So overall, I don't think it's a bad thing, and it's fun. They were saying all these chants about Kyle Fletcher, which was uncalled for. They even went back to the Kyle chants again, which was fun. I did not participate in that because I'm better than that. So I just watched and just wanted to make sure that our boy Kyle Fletcher was going to win. But low key, y'all know how much I love Kyle O'Reilly. Unfortunately, Adam Cole ends up taking the win, and I told you, if Rocky Romero is out there, he's the one who's going to get pinned, and this is always the case. But I will say this, what surprised me was being there in person to hear how everyone marked the fuck out over Adam Cole. Adam Cole, you know what? My mama told me if I have nothing nice to say, not to say it at all, and I'm moving on. Now, after Kyle Fletcher does come into the ring and almost puts his hand on Adam Cole and nothing ends up happening, we do get a pre-tape promo from Jon Moxley, Death Riders, everybody, whatever. And honestly, I don't care. I just want to see the fucking match at this point. Now, we also do have the new team that is Scorpio Sky, and Top Flight, Layla Gray, and then Uncle Christopher Daniels. They have called themselves now the Sky Flight or something like that, whatever it was. When I first heard it, I was just like, you sure that's the best I can come up with? Maybe it'll grow on me. It kind of makes sense. Wait, was it Sky Flight or was it Flight Sky? I don't know. Whatever the situation is, I didn't necessarily care for it at first, and I'm just gonna give it some time to see where it goes. Honestly, I don't know if Scorpio Sky needs to be pinned in with another group. I don't even know that Top Flight needs to be involved in this. I wish they could just get a proper push as a team, but it just seems like they just don't know what to do with that. Honestly, I really don't know. We do also have Mystico who comes out, and everybody loves Mystico. I love Mystico too. But he's going against Beast Mortos, which is like in my head my ex-boyfriend. So I was kind of mad at him because he's moved on without even telling me that he's moved on. And we already know, like, it's Mystico. It's one of those things where it's like, when you see certain people, they're always going to win. And so I already knew where it was going to where it was going to go. But I still think that Beast Muertos, despite I was complaining for so long about Beast Muertos not getting TV time and all this shit, and now we're seeing him on a weekly basis, which I do appreciate, Tony Khan. And in situations like this, despite him losing, I feel like people are really seeing how talented that he is. I don't know if him being this character is going to get him far, because obviously he doesn't speak, he only growls, and not everybody can translate that. And maybe there's going to be some changes that are going to have to be made when it comes to the character, but they definitely have like this hidden gem within Beast Mortos that I think they can truly shoot for the sky with. And whatever situation is, Mystico, he is another one where it's like, they're not going to snatch him up. Like, AEW's not going to snatch him up, but him being on the shows, you see like the crowd, they love him. He's just like this godly figure within pro wrestling. So I do appreciate him being around in AEW. You guys know that he's going to be somehow, some way in the Casino Gauntlet match, which is interesting. Now, MJF, he comes on the big screen after the match and he's talking shit about Mystico and how he's going to take his mask off so everybody can see how ugly he really is. And honestly, sometimes I myself get curious on how they look like under their masks, because they might be cute. Like Beast Mortos, I know that's a fine man under that mask. The rest of y'all, I don't know. Now, after this, we do have Pastor Briscoe, who's all alone back there. And he is talking about how, he knew that when he was going to do the talky talk with MJF, that MJF was going to bring up his brother. And let's just be real. MJF did not bring up your brother. You brought him up, and he said nice things about your brother. But then he said nice things about your brother, but in a way where it's like your brother would have been saying horrible things about you. So in my eyes, I don't think he said anything negative about Jay Briscoe. But whatever situation is, he's like, my family saw that. My mom and dad saw that at home. My nieces and nephews saw that. My sister-in-law saw that. And no matter what happens, that I'm going to get in that ring with you. I'm number one, you number two in the gauntlet, and I'm going to whoop your ass. And I love how serious this felt. Pastor Briscoe's always super, super high energy, making you laugh, and just have this infectious energy about him. And this time you could just really see like how serious he was. So I really did appreciate that. And it almost make you feel like it may just be only them two to do the gauntlet match itself, but we all know that will not be happening. Now, somehow, we had a clip from last night after the show of Hangman pulling up in the building, and Renee was like, oh, maybe we should talk about what just happened. And he said, yeah, maybe I should talk about it. Not with you. And I was like, tell her, Hangman, because she don't get what the fuck is going on. You know what? I'm not gonna lie. Like, I always say to you guys, like, Renee is acting like her husband ain't fucking up everything up in the company. She's just doing her job. And I understand. She's doing her job. She's not really involved. But girl, read the room. Your husband is just causing chaos up in here. So he ends up walking away from her, and he walks to her door, and you see on the door it says Swerve Strickland. He don't knock. He don't even peep his head in just a little bit to see if maybe somebody in there. He walked all the way in with the cameraman, and there's William, Prince Nana, and Swerve sitting there. I guess they were talking or just staring at each other, waiting for their cue when Hangman walked through the door. I don't know. And then he comes in, and obviously Swerve's not happy about how you gonna just walk into a black man house like that. He comes in, and basically here is William, who is like trying to be like, oh no, please guys, we have the pay-per-view this weekend, we can't get into any fights or anything. And I'm like, bro, shut the fuck up, let them fight if they want to fight. Now basically Prince Nana and William, they got kicked to the curb, and it's just Hangman and Swerve talking. This was giving it's Collision, but we have like a Dr. Phil segment in the middle of the show, whatever, where Hangman is apologizing and feeling remorseful for how things have gone between himself and Swerve. And I actually felt like, he was being truthful. He's like, I basically got myself about to commit suicide this weekend. And if I never get a chance to tell you how sorry I am about how things played out, I'm telling your ass now. Now, he's apologizing about the young fucks and all this stuff, but then Swerve was just like, man, I know about all that shit. You gotta tell me. I know that had nothing to do with you, whatever the young fucks was doing. So he knows all this. But for him, things got really personal for Swerve as well. Hangman talked about how his son is scared to go to bed at night. And honestly, Hangman, everybody got a boogeyman in their life anyway. So it is what it is. And long story short, they seem to kind of make amends. I'm not 100% sure. I think they want you to feel like you shouldn't be sure, and that them kind of making amends may be something that will play a part in that main event where Swerve might end up even fucking turning his back on him. Whatever situation is, they kind of leaving you guessing in terms of what's happening. Like, both of these guys seem to sort of be remorseful. Swerve is like, hey, for the things that I did, I do feel remorseful. But he said he felt remorseful about it because he lost everything that he had as well. So it took him to lose everything for him to feel that way. But if he didn't, I don't think he would have felt any type of way about how he treated Hangman. When Hangman was about to leave, he said his family's going to be out here in Texas or whatever. And Swerve just said, don't worry, I'm going to keep away from them. I'm not going to touch them. Great, good. And then you see Swerve with that big chain in his hand. And like I said, I think they just want you to feel like something crazy is going to happen between the two of them. I felt like it's a really great way to keep telling the story between these two. And I wish we felt that same type of energy about other feuds. So many feuds feel so short-lived within AEW or just wrestling in general. But something about Swerve and Hangman, I feel like this is a type of beef that's going to last forever. Now, after they're pretty much saying kumbaya, John Moxley came on out there and basically said, what the fuck is that? What y'all crying about back there? And acting like y'all need tissues to dry them tears. Marina said he ain't no. He said he's not a cowboy. He's a pussy, some shit like that. And I think he said something about getting his hands on Hangman or whatever. But I guess that never happened because we never seen Hangman for the rest of the night anyway. And he just came pretty much to say that and just left. Lovely. Jet Speed Outrunners teaming up to go against FTR and our stepdaddy with Nick Wayne and who else was over there? Yeah, just Nick Wayne. What the fuck is Kip Sabian in that group for? Is what I'm trying to figure out. Like, he's never in the matches. Well, maybe I could think of like one time I saw him in a match with them, and I'm gonna say two, and not even remember what the second one was. I don't know why he's there. I really don't know. But anyway. Mama Wayne looking beautiful as always, and I felt like I was the only person in there just making noise for our stepdaddy. This is just not right at all. Another one of those multi-man all-star matches that you have where, for me, I like being able to see everybody. Everyone's still got something going on with each other. You got the tag team thing going on for the title with Jet Speed and the Patriarchy, and then you got the Outrunners versus FTR, which is supposed to take place on the pre-show. Yes, they pre-showed FTR and everything, so we knew that was going to happen anyway. And everything is still playing out between that. What's interesting is that FTR somehow counted on the Patriarchy to be their partners, and at some point Christian said, fuck this shit, I ain't getting paid for all this, and end up leaving. So the Patriarchy just dipped, and it's just FTR versus Jet Speed and the Outrunners, and obviously that's all they needed in terms of taking the win. After this, they wasted our time with the pizza people again. Basically, he's like, the dad, whatever his name is, I don't know, saying how they're going to be at All In. Why? I don't know, because there's children that's going to be there, and we got to cater to them too. And that how they're going to be going against, what they said it was going to get, they said some weird shit. And then it was like, oh, you need to go against adults? Whatever the fuck. No, they said he needs adult partners. So his sons and daughters, I don't know who these people are. I don't care. Long story short, he's going to be teaming up with the conglomeration, which is Hologram and Ishii. You mean to tell Ishii has 2 titles in New Japan, and he's partnered up with the pizza people at All In? Come on, Tony Khan. What are we talking about here? What are we doing? Anyway, and basically they're going to be going against Rocky Trent Beretta, and did they say Lance Archer? I'm trying to think if they said Lance Archer. Whatever situation is, I'm already bored. All right, so I forgot to mention that Kyle O'Reilly was in it too. So he's in it. Hetty said it was gonna be in it. Whatever. Like I said, I'm bored. After this, what my favorite match is of the night, and I might sound biased, Gabe Kidd versus Shibata. Those are two of my faves. So maybe I'm a little bit biased, but I think I enjoyed this match the most. That teacher versus student type of thing. Those two New Japan guy type of thing that they got going on, where you really got a chance to see that strong style, the New Japan strong style in the ring, which I really did appreciate with the two of them. For me, I kept thinking that I wasn't sure that Shibata would lose this because he has a title. Remember, like last night we had Samoa Joe in action with Wheeler Yuta and he won. And I kind of was thinking that maybe because Shibata was a trios champ that he would probably end up winning, just keep that champion looking strong. I was wrong. I thought that they were great with each other. They know exactly what the both of them have to offer. So things like this is where it's just like, okay, well, you taught me everything I know, so I know what you're going to do. And then, Shibata being the one who taught, Gabe what he knows and knowing his moves as well. And then I thought that they were so fucking fierce. I loved this match. But I thought Gabe definitely needed that win. Obviously, Wheeler Yuta did come on out there as a distraction. And that was all he needed to end up taking the win. And they walked right past me. Oh my gosh. I don't know. Anyway, Chris Statlander came on out there to do commentary. And then we had the girls coming on out. Thunder Rosa, Will Nightingale, Queen Aminata, Mina Shirakawa going against Athena, Megan Bain, Tekla, and Julia. I feel like it's the same group of people every night, except they might take like one person out and put another. Well, long story short, I feel like everyone that we've been seeing in these girls matches, those are all the girls that's going to be in the damn match. That's pretty much what it seems like at this point. I mean, there might be a return. I guess maybe one return in the whole thing, but I do feel like all the girls that y'all been seeing these past few weeks are all the girls that are definitely going to be in that match. I love how the crowd was like really wanting Queen Aminata to be in that match. And I was like, yes, this is perfect. She needs that love. I feel like so many people has recognized how talented Queen Aminata is, and it's just she just haven't had that opportunity to be holding titles or having much opportunity, especially to go after a champion. So she's just been absolutely amazing, and it was really great to see that love and recognition for her. Baby faces end up taking the win. And I'm okay. And when I did say that, like, all the girls in this match would be at the gauntlet, that includes Athena. I absolutely believe that even if and when she ends up retaining her title at Supercard of Honor on Friday, I still believe that Athena will still make it to the gauntlet match. There's no reason why she can't. Like, just because she has the Ring of Honor title doesn't mean that she can't participate. She's been participating for the past couple of weeks, and I think it would be kind of strange for her not to be there. So I am anticipating her being there in that match. Overall, the show was great, but I really felt like Kenny and Okada not being there really made the show not feel like a go-home show. Like, I really feel like all the major titles and everything really played out on the show except for them two. And for them to have their last confrontation last week really feels strange for a big show, their biggest show, like All In. Like, Kenny Okada wasn't available this week or something. Like, what the fuck was that about? I really feel like a huge part of the show was definitely missing. Overall, a really fun show to be at. I don't know if y'all enjoyed it as much as I did at home, but it was still good. I do feel like it didn't feel too much of a go-home show, but you definitely felt the presence of All In basically being around the corner. You guys, thank you so much for watching my review. I will be back on a review on All In and Supercard of Honor and whatever else the hell going on. And we'll talk about what's going on with those shows soon. See you guys then. Bye.